I don't know if I'm live, I can't tell. What's happening? How do I do this? Am I live or am I not? What's going on? Studio mode. Cool. Don't need that. I'm streaming. What's going on? Stream. Yep. Okay, we good. It's not picking up right here. Go, I'm live. Oh no. I should be live. Yo. Well, there it is. That took me a bit. Wow. Can we hear what's going on? I don't know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? This is my first time. We may not have any sound. Hey, mommy. Can you check to see if I have sound? Go on YouTube. Love you. You just go into YouTube, type in an excuse for gaming, because that's me, and see if there's sound coming up. Technical difficulties. Maybe. We all have excuses. What's yours? I'm not live. I should be live. An excuse for gaming? In there? Oh, then we're good. Perfect. Yo. Awesome. Well, with those technical difficulties out of the way, we're ready to get rocking and rolling. Welcome to An Excuse for Gaming. I'm Excusitis, and today's excuse, Kingdom Death Monster Unboxing Core Game 1.6. I have been waiting 9 months and 2 weeks to dive into this box. Look at this thing. Oh, I can't even lift it. I ain't strong enough. Oh boy. Whew. Ordered this game on March 29th. It delivered on the 30th of November. And I've been holding off trying to open this box. Yeah. I've been driven insane. My insanity levels are 3+. I can activate gear that requires you to be insane. This is crazy. Can't believe I held off this long, but I must succumb to the temptation. Also, couple disclaimers. This game is for 17+, for the board game geek community, 18+. It is a graphic game, and there is risque images and nudity. So, be mindful of that while you are watching. And if you hear any sounds in the background, my daughter is jumping on a trampoline inside the house. Oh, guys, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, my hands are sweating. This is sweating. I'm so ready to get into this. Now, I will say, I have cut the seals on this part of the box. So, I know what's underneath the lid, but everybody should, right? Because Core Game 1.6, it says it right there. It's Kingdom Death Monster. Sorry if I just killed your ears. My bad. But anyways, I'm going to have to put my glasses on because seeing chat from here, how is everybody doing? I'm doing great. Today was an excellent day, and I'm super hyped to be able to unbox this game with all you beautimous people. Oh, hi, Luna. You sleepy? Oh, well, go relax. I, you sleepy? My daughter's here. You sleepy? Hey, don't mess with me. You sleepy? Okay. What do you need? Oh, 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, 1 minute. Huh? Popcorn? Oh. Oh. Um, well, okay. Are you going night-night? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The perks of being a father. Okay, okay. But I'm talking to people. People are talking to me. Okay, I get you a passy. Gonna have to start throwing those away. Hey, Luna. Pro tip. Ask mommy. No, go ask mommy. Yeah. I'm about to open up a board game. Okay, hold on. Just a minute. Yeah. We'll get to this. I promise. It's so cool. I opened up the box already. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, okay. Hold on a moment. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm ready to do this. No, no, ma'am. I can no pick you up. I can't do these. I can't want that one. Let me. I gotta do the live stream, baby. Don't play with that. Okay. So. That one, Daddy. Yes. I can't want that one. You don't want that one? Which one? This one? What are you talking about? I want that one. Go ask mommy for help. Mommy help you. I cannot. Oh, anyways. My daughter's talking to me right now. So if you can't hear her, that's what's going on. But I can't want that one. You're okay, baby. I can't want that one. It's okay. I can't want that one. Yes, you can. No, I can't want that one. I can't help you. I can't want that one. Mommies are better for help. I can't want that one. Well, yeah. So, it's time to get into the box. It's gonna be crazy. I've been waiting so long. Get my glasses ready. Here we go. So, I do have experience with Kingdom Death Monster. I've been playing it on Tabletop Simulator for about a year and a half now, maybe 2 years. I started playing it solo on Kingdom Death when on Kingdom Death. I mean, what? On Tabletop Simulator. And then Kingdom Death Monster, I was watching content from, at the time, Beast of War, who's now, I think, on Tabletop, I think is what their channel name is. And so I started watching their playthroughs with Darker Days Radio. And then I was like, man, I really want to start playing this game. And apparently it was on Tabletop Simulator. And I was like, what? So I was like, let's jump in and start playing. So I started playing on Tabletop Simulator. And then a little bit after that, I started getting into actually backing games on Kickstarter. My first being Veil Wraith, which led me to Killforth, which led me to Tristan Hall and his Facebook gaming group of Killforth, and that's where I found Kanji Studios. And from there, we've built up a relationship of playing board games together, and Kingdom Death Monster is one that we play. So we have experience, and I have experience with Kingdom Death, but I've never been able to own the physical game. And, well, same with as many people, because it's a hard game to come by. But right now, I think, as of this live stream, you can get the game from Kingdom Death's store, but it's like $420 for the game. So I think you can. I bought this at $350. This was, again, 9 months ago. So this is like my little baby, but it's been in the tummy for too long, and so we have to cut open and bring the baby out. So we're gonna go in there and hopefully get this rocking and rolling. And again, I hope you've all had an excellent day today. I know I did, and I'm gonna have a better one because I get to open up this game with all of you. So join me at the table. You could sit or stand. I'm standing. I prefer to stand while playing board games, just because a lot of them that I have, you have to have a long reach of what do they call it? A footprint. It's got a big old footprint. And so I have to like reach across my table in order to get stuff. So I like to stand while I play board games. Don't stub your toes, ladies and gents. I have done that a numerous amount of times. So I think it's time to crack into this. Y'all think it's time? Should we do this? No, we're not gonna do this. You don't want me to open the box? Fine, I won't open the box. Forget it. No. I'm just kidding. We're gonna open the box. Oh boy. So like I said, I've already pre-opened this box. I just couldn't wait. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at what's in the box. What's in the box? We have... Get ready. Oh my god. Oh, this is so... Just kidding. Just kidding. What's in the box? It's another box. It's another box. Why is there a box in a box? That's awesome. There's a box in a box. That's so cool. Okay. So I guess I got a box. Let's continue. Oh, wait. This video is not sponsored by anything or anyone. Beer break. Voodoo Ranger. Oh, so good. Also, I don't want to spill my drink all over the game. All right, so here we go. I don't know. How am I going to do this? I've never done it. Jeez, I don't even think I can lift. So this board game is like 19 pounds. My max bench, when I played football, was like 15 pounds. Yeah, I was that kid. Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know board game etiquette. Do I just open the seal here? Do I pull the box out of the box? Do I flip the box over? Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Oh my gosh. Why is it so freaking heavy? Okay, I'm not a wimp. Don't let people think you're so weak, bro. Come on. You work out. You lift 6-packs, even if it's beer. It still counts. I mean, I coach for a living. I should do some sort of exercise. Oops. Something ripped, and it was probably my pants. Check it out. Cheat codes. No, never mind. Sorry, you can see my beard. Check it out. I'm like all in this green. He's like Christmas time all over again. I'm gonna knock stuff off my table. I did not plan and prepare very well, even though I had 2 weeks to do it. Life? Excuses, right? Excusitis? I'm all about the excuses. And for those who are curious, yes, I'll get to the box. Excusitis stands for the mental disease of coming up with excuses that successful people wouldn't come up with. Like, I don't have enough time. I don't have the energy. I'm lazy. All valid reasons. Okay, there we go. Check this out. Check this out. We got this. I think we're making something happen. Oh my gosh. I broke my wrist. Never again. And I just hit my camera. You guys been keeping composure very well. Okay, excellent connection. Perfect. So here is the box. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost in there. We're getting to it. We're gonna do this. Oh man, this is crazy. I'm so excited. I'm gonna put an excited emoji. Which emoji? Oh, we're gonna go with the dab. Because I'm like that. Look at that. We put a dab in there. Let's go. All right, so now we're gonna cut through this box. Yes, 18 minutes later. I know. Deal with it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk to you like that. Forgive me. I love you. All right, here we go. So this is my handy dandy stab people. Open boxes with knife. It's a little one, but that's okay. Just because it's small doesn't mean it doesn't work. Oh, let's carry on. So we stick the knife through here, and we go. I've watched unboxing videos, but I myself have never done one. But I don't know if there's like proper etiquette. Do I just like stab this in? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Stop it. All right. Oh, guys, there we go. I think I could just break the rest. Close it up for safety. Don't want to cut ourselves. It's okay. Don't need to cut yourself. We'll be fine. You're fine. I'm here to help. Here to help. Years of karate. That's how I could open up the rest of that. Oh, guys. I'm so hyped. This is crazy. This is oh, y'all. Here we go. Oh, man. 9 months. Right. March 29th to November 30th. November 30th. It's 9 months. And I held off for 2 weeks. Get the extra nutrients in. We've cut open. It's time to reveal the baby. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Are you... What the hell? What is this? This is the box. In a box. Next thing you know, it's just going to be socks and rocks. However, I'm quite impressed already with the amount of level of like care and protection. Like, you should use protection. And what? Look at this. It's like jigsaw piece together corners. This is so cool. All right, so well, here we go. We went from one box going into the next box. So we're gonna remove the corner pieces. These are cool. I like this. Anyways, we're not here to admire the corner pieces. Let's keep going. Pass me the spatula, doctor. Did you say spatula? This is crazy. Open. Okay. Corner pieces have been removed. I should probably toss these on the floor. So I threw it on the ground. Nice. Oh my gosh. My baby. We're gonna see my baby. Y'all ready? I almost don't want to, but I have to. And I want to. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, here we go. 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 So, anyways, earlier today I was okay, sorry. Beer break, hold on. Every father knows it's good to drink right before you see your baby. Okay. I look like a total lumberjack. Anyways, or hipster. Oh my gosh. No way. This is the game. This is Kingdom Death Monster. I could start crying right now. I've waited so long for this to arrive. Look at this. This is crazy, guys and girls and genders alike. This is insane. Hold on. Oh, that's too cool. This game is actually on my table. Wow. I'd cry, but a grown man with a beard crying is not a pretty sight. So, let's do this. Be jealous. I'm sorry. Styrofoam. So I threw it on the ground. Ooh, that hurt my ears. Sorry. Styrofoam. Yeah. Now, as familiar as I am with Kingdom Death, I dropped it, but not where I wanted to. I don't know everything inside the game. Like, I haven't experienced all the hunt events. I haven't played against all the Nemesis or Quarries. I mean, I've made it to the Phoenix, but never fought the Phoenix. I fought in the Kingsman, the Butcher, who is my absolute favorite Nemesis so far. I love the Butcher. The dude reads minds. Like, literally, when I was playing with Kanji Studios, I think it's like episode 3 of our co-op play with just he and I. So it's like almost a year-old video, I think by now. The Butcher read our minds. I was like, oh, I'm out of survival. Let me drink my frenzy potion on my next turn because why not? I don't have survival, so I'll gain some great benefits from the frenzy potion, and then gaining lunacy will stack. And I believe, right, yeah, I believe that's the case. Lunacy will stack on top of the frenzy potion because of the brain trauma can stack. But anyways, and so I was like, yeah, I'll drink it on my next turn. Next turn, his attack he had dealt a severe head injury or brain injury, and or no, head injury. It was a head injury, and he broke my character's jaw, which prevents you from being able to consume. and my character was named Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy. Oh my gosh, this box is heavy. I'm just freaking weak, y'all. And his name was Luffy from Monkey D. Luffy. In the same scenario or session, fighting the Butcher, Luffy survives Hack City. 11 attacks in a row from the Butcher. Oh my god. Okay, try not to knock over my cameras. There's a glare on the table from my ring light. Whatever, I don't care. Here we go. Oh, it's my baby. Look at my baby. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I could cry. This is my hold on. Huh. Huh. Huh? Oh, I love you anyway. Oh, you're so cute, baby. Oh, look at this. This is so beautiful. Oh, gosh. Okay. So for a special moment like this, unboxing this game, gosh, I'm leaving my fingerprints. My hands are like, ugh, stupid hyperhidrosis in the hands. To unbox this, we need to peel off the shrink wrap, right? Well, do we? Of course we do. So, what we're gonna do, hold on, sorry. I'm just checking some stuff out. This is crazy, y'all. Crazy. All right, we're gonna use Sting. Look at this. Okay, so yes, The Hobbit has nothing to do with Kingdom Death Monster. Let's see if I can bring this up a little bit better. Yeah. So this is. Hey, you can see my face. uh, we're gonna open this up, and we are gonna use Sting to open the box. It's a letter opener. How cool is this? This is so cool. King King. Look at that light. Narcissus. That's how that's this. It's my poor impression of Smeagol. All right, it's time to go in. Y'all, I am so hyped. I think so. How do you open this? Do you just like take the knife and then just slam it in? Oh, here y'all. Nah, I'd never do that. You kidding me? Just stab the knife into it. All right, shh. Oh, silence. We're going in. So I hope the audio's coming through clear, coming through good. I can't check the audio right now. But anyways, we're starting in the corner. I'm currently blocking that corner. I don't want to take the shrink off of this. What? We could make this like an ASMR stream. What am I doing? Finish. Yeah, I'm so hyped that I get to share this moment with all of you. So, Kingdom Death Monster is my favorite board game, tied with Killforth, Gloom of Killforth, and Call of Killforth. Sting, we're going to sit you down because we will be coming back to you again. Is my favorite board game next to Gloom of Killforth, Shadows of Killforth combined. Oh. So yes, I have like 3 games tied for first place. So what? You want to fight about it? Okay. Oh man, this is crazy, guys and gals and genders alike. This is crazy. So let's move the shrink from the booty. Removing that shrink. What do you think? Oh, weird. Look at all these fuzzy wuzzies and Xena hair. My dog's name is Xena. Yes, the warrior princess. Now we can see the box better. Here. All right, what I'm going to do is zoom the camera down, kind of into, so you can see this image maybe. Nah, I won't do that. Just in case you have motion sickness. Y'all, this is Kingdom Death. Oh, I am opening this box. This is crazy. Okay. Hold on one moment. All right, here we go. Beer break. Y'all, this is my first live stream as an excuse for gaming on my own actual channel running solo. I've really only ever been a part of other people's streams, which has been great. It's taught me some tips and stuff, and I've got to thank Kenji Studios with helping me with figuring out OBS, and I've still got a lot to learn, but I try to cram in some knowledge as fast as I could, so thank you, sir. And Big Slide TV for also giving me some pointers with OBS and have streamed with him in the past. And he's given me a lot of pointers and tips when it comes to streaming. Whether I'm following them now or not, I can't say. But anyways, it's okay. It's okay. Here we go. No. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. 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 Okay, let's do it. Let's send it. We're opening the box. And thank you everyone for your support. Shh. Moment of silence. Oh, I've noticed something. Look at that. Look at that. I believe that's the Watcher. As much knowledge as I have, I should know that that's probably the Watcher. Look at that monster. This box is super cool. Anything else? And it just says monster. Upside down. And what's in the lid? Darkness. Like my soul. Just kidding. Alright. So let's put the lid over here. Just kind of off to the side. And here we are. Miniature assembly. What? What do you mean? I gotta build minis? Oh, I hate this game. I'm just kidding. Guess I knew what I was getting myself into. I think. So, let's take this out of the box. So yes, we first come to miniature assembly. Build.kingdomdeath.com. Let's take a look at it, right? I mean, that's what we're here for. Hey, I already have Xena here on my thing. Oh, look at that. There's a seal. You know what that means. Sting. Not turning blue, so that's a good sign. Wait, ooh, I almost totally messed this up. Sting, can you cut this? It's old. This is an old letter opener. Yo, it works. It works. So, yes, we'll see things soon. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have this game in front of me. Y'all, this is crazy. I've been after this game for so long. Why did I not break the seal? I didn't break the seal. Good, I can keep drinking. Sorry, adult humor. Hey. There we go. Did it. Did it, y'all. We're going in. What? No, I didn't. Guys, stop it. Don't make fun of me. My first time. I might be doing this for a long time. Look at this. Yeah, this is crazy. Oh my gosh. Look at all these. This is bags of minis. Oh my. Well, let's take one out. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, so yes, spoiler, you're gonna see things if you're, well, spoiler. Games have been out for like forever, so But look at them. Those pieces are tiny. Oh my god. Alright, so we'll go through some of these. Maybe not like every single one of these. I don't know. Alright, you know what? Forget it. We're just gonna take a look at all of it. Look at this. My gosh. Actually, we'll just point out some notable things from this. We're not going to go through all of these because that would be crazy. I'm talking about being, sorry, I'm looking at stuff. Talking about being crazy. Okay. Let's go like, let's move the box a little bit more away. I'm gonna take this. There's like a bajillions of things. Sprue. Yeah. So this is, I think, the Phoenix wing. Parts of the Phoenix. Here, let's bring that up here. My God, Woodrow. Oh yeah, it says right there. Take a look at that. That's pretty cool. Phoenix. Let's get Phoenix. Oh, that's so cool. And let's look over at this one. I'm not going to take these all out of the bag right now because I don't know. Whoa, is that the Adam Poots Games? Oh yeah. Adam Poots. He's main man behind the plan. A lantern kit. Made in China. Down here in the corner. Made in China. I think those are axes. Let me ask you a question. Perhaps a rawhide whip or a whip of some sort right over here. Huh. Lots of swords because, you know, swords are cool. This. Wow, look at how small these pieces are. Yo, what's going on, GB? Welcome to the stream. This is crazy. There are so many. I don't even know. What have I done? What have I gotten myself into? Man. I want to look at like all these. This is going to take like an hour just to go through. So let's grab a few more and then we'll get into the other box. But man, look at it. Okay. Yo. More things. And like I said, I do have experience with Kingdom Death. MSRP, probably $420. $420. I spent $350, but that was like 9 months ago. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, 350 is what I spent. 420 is I think the current rate on the Kingdom Death website. If it's still in stock. This game is like a sought after game. And also, how's the audio coming through? Just want to make sure that everything's still sounding good. Connection's not going in and out. Man, look at these pieces. Let's bring this up. This is crazy. Yeah, a lot of stuff for that price. No, for sure. Oh yeah. We're gonna get into the actual, but look at all of that. We're about to dive in to the rest of the components in the game. I'm just over here admiring all these minis. Oh my gosh. I have to put these together. You know, I was decent at Legos. I don't think this is gonna be like putting together a Lego. All right, let's grab one more. Let's take a look at one more of these. So we're gonna go with this one. This one has, I believe, the starting survivors. So if we look here, when you start this game, you're like in darkness. All you've got is a loincloth. You wake up in this nightmare world, and you have a lantern to light your way. So if I can bring this up closer, there's like these little lanterns here. Oops, the glare. Starting survivor and their loincloth. And it looks like we have components for one of my favorite nemesis in the game. This is one of the boss monsters you have to fight, called the Butcher. And then I think we have White Lion and Screaming Antelope in here. Here, let's we'll open this one up because this is all like early game stuff. Let's take a look at this one. Earlier today, I was watching Kanji Studios do an unboxing, and he's freaked me out with miniatures. He's had a fun little incident. It was great. Screaming Antelope. My gosh, look at the detail on this stuff. It's hard to see maybe, but those, can it zoom in? Can it focus? Those are hands on its belly. And there's a butt. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, that was funny. That was funny. All right, let's see what else we got on this one. So I believe this is the White Lion over here. We're gonna, man. Where's the face? Where's your face? Oh, I have to put the face together. That's right. Well, anyways, there's some detail. Look at that. Focus. Thank you. Jeez. And then the White Lion. Just part of it. It's upside down. That's its ear. Yeah, you have to actually put its face together. This is crazy. Oh, this is going to take me forever. And yes, I will end up painting these sometime in the future. Maybe for Christmas. Nah, it'll probably be after Christmas. Alright, so. Easy does it, easy does it. Don't break anything. Costs too much. I don't want to replace it. I just caught the White Lion's tail. Great. Oh yeah, and one of the things too, you can you damage certain parts of monsters, and for the White Lion, you can damage its testicles. Because why not, right? Why not? Okay. So let's put these in here. And we got bases. Look at all this. What is this? We got stone faces on these bases. And then we got regular bases. And you can buy more of the stone faces. Eventually, I think that's what I'll need to do. This big old base right here. I think it's for the Phoenix monster. Crazy. Massive. Okay. Alright. Let's put that there. We'll have fun dealing with this horror later. Yeah, that's crazy. Still look a little green around the edges. Don't worry, I'm feeling fine. It's just working lighting is not fun. Alright, so let's take this box. Where am I gonna? I'm gonna throw it on the floor. No, that's not a good idea. Let's just put it off to the side. We'll slide this box up. Look at this. 19 pounds. This box weighs more than I can actually lift. Alright, so here we have the settlement board, and I believe it doubles as the hunt track. So let's open it up. Ah, yeah, here's the hunt board. So here's the hunt track. You'll start out where it says start. And on each of these spaces will be hunt event cards and random hunt event cards. And you'll have to deal with the horrors that they tell you to deal with while you're trying to hunt the monster. And hoping it doesn't fall off the edge of the board where it says starvation. Bad things happen. Remove D5 resources from settlement storage. That's terrifying. That's horrible. That's really bad. And then this leads to a special event, Overwhelming Darkness. So whenever you're hunting a monster, you're going to place the monster on a specific spot. The rulebook will tell you to do that. And then all your survivors start in the start location, and then you just progress. Boom, boom, boom. And you're going to go through hunt events. There's 100 random hunt events. And every phase in this game can kill your survivors. So if you're used to playing games with heroes where you build them up, they become stronger, you may fail a scenario, but that's okay. You can try again or grind that scenario for resources and such. In this game, your hero will die. It's all about the settlement, so don't focus just on one person, because they die in horrific ways. Very horrific ways. And the hunt can definitely kill people. It can kill your whole party that's going out to fight the showdown. So the hunt event is the first thing you do. You're gonna, whenever you're past the prologue of the game, you're going to hunt a monster. Then it leads you into the showdown where you actually fight the monster, and then you jump into the settlement phase where you get to craft resources and items based on what you've gathered from the monster that you fought, and you get to innovate new technologies to build up your survival or give you new abilities and access to other cool perks or boons that can help you. But again, the settlement phase can also kill survivors. So there's no breath of fresh air in this game. So this is, so yeah, let's look at that real quick. Sorry. Hunt track doubles as the showdown board. So it takes you through all of the steps that you're going to go through throughout the game, through the settlement until you get to 11, which is end the settlement phase, which is typically when you'd end your session, or if you want to continue, you can continue. And there's also a smaller card right here that breaks down this, so you don't need this big old thing on the table as well. So yeah, hunt board, settlement board. Let's push this over to the side. Dun, 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 dun. And here we go. Oops. This has tokens. Look at this. We've got, let's turn it this way. Let's see. Oh, I bent my camera. Sorry. So yeah, here's the, you can see me in the back. Hi, everyone. Oh, wait, I'm waving. You can already see me wave. So yeah, this is the showdown stuff. You know, you have your setup. You go through each of these steps. Bum, 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 bum. So it's a nice handy card to have, just in case you don't want to keep flipping over that big old board or whatever. Just quality of life improvements. Look at that glare. Sorry. Priority target token. And this is also the monster controller token. I think I'll open this so we could take a look at some of the other stuff in here. Reroll tokens. Oh yeah. It's good to have those. Endeavor tokens. And it's cool. It tells you everything right here. And then we have other tokens where you can either increase or decrease survivor stats. So let's bust this open. And we're gonna of course use Sting. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Using Sting. Let's go for it. Man. So, how's everybody's day been, guys and gals? My day was pretty good. Got to practice fixing some tubs. I drove out to San Antonio because I live in the Texas area. Drove out to San Antonio, about 2 hours from where I live. I got to coach up some kids in some sports. It was a good time. Good day. And then now I'm here unboxing Kingdom Death Monster with you beautiful people. Man, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I hope everything's going good on y'all's end. Oh, don't bust the corner of this cardboard. As you can see, I'm a professional unboxer. Like, nobody compares to me. Nobody. Oh gosh, I'm dropping stuff. Okay. Alright, so here we go. So let's test out the punch boards. This is a very satisfying part. I'm not going to punch out everything. I want to enjoy that selfishly. So let's just punch this up. Oh, it comes out so easily. Oh, man, that's good. That's good. Yeah, a little bit of glare from the lighting. I'll work the lighting. I'll get it better. It's my first time. Go easy. So we'll put that over here. Bam! Priority target token. This can be a good thing or a bad thing, strategy-wise, while you're playing the game. If you're the priority target, the monster is going to target you. It's like drawing aggro in a video game. So it could be good, but it could also be like, oh no, our support character is going to get ripped apart. And then it's blank. When a monster performs a target, picks action, picks you. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. So maybe this isn't the monster controller token. There's a monster controller token that I'm familiar with. This may not be it. That's okay. Let's put this over here. So yeah, Endeavor tokens, these will help you to, well, one, be able to Endeavor, which is to activate abilities during the settlement phase, and to also innovate new technologies. And do they sell custom organizers for this? Not on the Kingdom Death website, but there are third parties that do sell custom organizers. The box will have its kind of own organization, but there are better ones out there. At the moment, I can't recommend any because I haven't done enough research, but I know they do. I've seen them. Which is good because there's so much to this game. Although the miniatures won't fit back in the box. The only problem there. All right, let's put that down. That's enough staring at that. Let's look at some of this other stuff. Holy smokus. Wham. Look at this board. Let's see if we can bring some of this close. You know what? Let's just pop some of these. So, for example, you have accuracy as a survivor stat. This will allow you to hit the monster. In Kingdom Death, you've got to hit, and then you have to wound. Wounding the monster so many times will kill it. But if you don't hit, you don't wound. Or if you hit, you may not wound. So accuracy at least allows you to hit. That's a minus. On the flip side, you've got the plus side. So they double as positive or negative, and based on how you acquire it or apply it to the monster as well. Would hate to have 3 dozen Ziploc baggies. Yup, I've already got plenty. I'm just gonna put all my components in these Ziploc bags and then stuff them in this thing here. But no, I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying. Baggies clutters too much stuff up. And it doesn't look pretty either. When you open up the box, it's just bags everywhere. Player tokens, bleeding tokens, all down here. When you suffer 5 bleed tokens, your character dies. In harder difficulties, if you suffer 3 bleed tokens, your character dies. And if you play this game on a harder difficulty than its already base difficulty, you are literally insane and should probably go to the doctor for mental health because that's crazy. So yeah, don't play this any harder than it is, guys. Like literally, this is brutal. Do some of the monsters generate wound points? Yes. Yes, they can. And it sucks because the wounds in this game, and we'll see it too when we get to the cards. The AI's deck, what tells the AI what to do, is the AI's health. So as you remove health from the AI, you're lessening what it can do, which could be beneficial, or it could leave it with its like most brutal attacks that it's going to keep cycling if you can't keep wounding it. And some cards will allow them to pull the AI cards back into its wound stack so you can continue, or so it can continue to function with more health, which is meaning it's going to probably kill everybody. Yeah, not every monster regenerates wounds as far as I'm concerned, but Some do, and it sucks. So yeah, different stat tokens. We've got evasion tokens. We've got luck tokens, speed, accuracy, movement, strength, damage, and lunacy tokens. This is applied for the butcher, typically used with the butcher. He's a nemesis monster. Nemesis are like party wipe scenarios. Like, let's just kill your survivors because that's Kingdom Death Monster. You won't always die. You can beat them. The game is beatable. I've never beaten the game on Tabletop Simulator, and I've probably put almost 100 hours probably into the game by now. Here are some terrain tokens. With intelligently made monsters. Yes, the monsters in this game are not stupid. As a matter of fact, when you start the game, your characters don't even know how to speak. So when it comes to intelligence, the monsters are already smarter than you. Not you personally, the survivors. Terrain tokens, these can be interacted with your survivors. Some will gain you really good benefits. Sometimes you can hurt yourselves based on the terrain you're going through. But things like this right here is the tall grass. This will give you evasion bonuses, making you harder to be hit. So the monster has to roll higher. Everything in this game is D10 dice rolling. You're rolling D10s after D10 after D10. Hopefully you can mitigate your dice rolls and win or die horrifically. There it is, monster controller token. That's what I was talking about. So everybody gets to control the monster and their survivors unless a survivor dies. The first survivor to die, that player gets to use the monster token and be the monster. And these are, yep, this is just, backside is blank. So yeah, we have pillars. We've got bigger pillars. We got a lonely tree, stone faces. This is really good with the bow and arrow for accuracy, just from my time being with it. Some stuff that we can mine, bugs, Cantheus plants, dead survivor. Check that out. Dead survivor. Wait, there it is. Dead survivor. These are pretty cool. Let's put this over here. We'll just set that there for now. Whew. I would have thrown in the towel. Yeah. Yeah, look. 100 hours and no win. This game is punishing for the sake of being punishing because it's a settlement survival game. So if you're not focusing on the settlement as a whole and just individual survivors, it's going to backfire on you, and that can happen quick. So you really want to make sure you're progressing the settlement. And since it is a settlement survival game, your survivors are resources. And the game has to be able to kill them. And there are just many ways that they can die. But with all that sad gloom and doom, there's epic things that can happen. And this is one of those games that every session you play has wow moments. Whether it goes good for you or for the monster, you just walk away like, what? That was epic. My introduction to this game on Tabletop Simulator, my character Hill Dracul killed the prologue White Lion by dealing the final wound as a critical hit, because you can crit in this game, as a critical hit, and it ripped off the White Lion's testicles. That was my introduction into Kingdom Death Monster. Ever since then, I knew this was my favorite game. So here is the player board. And we'll get this opened up. It is 2 feet by 3 feet, I believe. It is a massive board, and holy smokes, look at all that. Lots of bookkeeping. Do you enjoy rubbing salt in your eyes in addition to KDM? I rub salt everywhere I can. So yes. It's not a game, if you're having a bad day, you go home and like, you know what? I'm going to play Kingdom Death Monster to feel better. Nah, probably not a good idea. I would refrain from that. All right, so let's try to open this up so we can see how massive this board is. We're going in. Oh, I didn't get that in one pull. I'm a failure. This most satisfying part of a game is peeling off the shrink. Oh, now I'm stuck. Oh. Oh. This game is high quality. Kingdom Death, they do not cut corners on their quality. They are a high quality miniature company. Oh, look at this. But they also do take a while to get products back out. And to be like, hey, we've got this product coming in, and it could take forever until it finally arrives. But when it does, they deliver. And the miniatures, I mean, they are high quality miniature company. And they even make miniatures that you don't need for the core game. Not even like expansion stuff. They're just collectibles. They're like pinup models and stuff. They're really nice if you're into that. I would like to have them, but this is my first miniature game. But high quality stuff. They do not cut corners. This is the AI's kind of control panel. So you've got we'll start with here, the AI's action cards, and then the discard pile, because after it uses an action, you'll discard it. And then once this deck runs out, you'll reshuffle the discard pile. And then it recycles through its actions again. You have the hit location deck. So this is whenever you land a hit on the monster, you're going to see, well, where did you hit it? And now what things could benefit you, or what horrible things happen because you hit it. And then this is where you'll discard those cards. And yes, there is a card in here called a trap card. Every monster has one, and they're typically very bad. So you got to be careful going through the hit location deck. Which there are things to mitigate these, allowing you to look at cards, allowing you to push cards further down or move cards up. So you could push a powerful attack card to the top and then wound it and remove that card for good unless it can heal. Same with the hit location deck, except for removing the card completely from the hit location. Here's its basic action spot. This is what the monster will do whenever it has no AI cards left as a basic action. And then wound stack. This is where the AI cards, when you damage the monster, they just go here. So now you don't have to worry about those cards. But you don't get to reveal the wound card that you damaged. So you never know exactly what's still left in the monster's deck. Does the Greater Austin area have meetups for KDM? You know, I have not heard of any. This game has been so hard to come by, I think, that there isn't, but maybe start one. We could get one going. Around us, there's Titan Moon Comics, Dragon's Lair, Wonkos. We could check with them and be like, hey, can we do a KDM night and get some people at the table and play some Kingdom Death? That would be dope. That would be dope. Oops, hit my microphone. And then so here we have tokens. This is for the monster. This could either be positive or negative. Those tokens that I showed off at the beginning go for survivors and monsters. And then we have traits and mood section. This is certain monsters will have some cards start out in play. Wow, look at that shadow. Some cards start out in play. That's where they would go. Things that can affect how it performs. Mood cards are cards that come out through the AI stack that come out here permanently, unless there's a way you can remove them. And that'll, again, alter the way that the AI works. And then this little skull icon is its permanent injuries. If you can deal an epic, like, critical hit, you might be able to permanently injure it where it loses so much movement, or it may not be able to activate certain attack cards because maybe it doesn't have a jaw anymore, so it can't bite you, which is great. So it basically pulls a card and you're like, ha, you get to do nothing on your turn. So fuck you. And then you get to tear it apart, right? I didn't mean to flick y'all off. That's not for y'all. No, I'm just kidding. So, right. And epic stuff can happen. So yeah, that's this track. There's a lot going on there, but it's not that overwhelming. It's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. And now the board. Just a big black board. Because why not? You know? Sure. Let's see what's on the other side. Oh, wait. There's more. I just hit my camera. Shalululululu. Look at that. This thing is mad. It's so big. It's upside. Is it upside down? Kind of, and not really. Look at that. So the monster starts in the middle, and the survivors, based on the showdown setup, the game will tell you how to set up the encounter that you're going to fight, will have you placed so many spaces away. Each of these counts as one space or one unit, and movement in this game is orthogonal. So no diagonal movement. And movement has to be either fully spent or not fully spent, but you can't break up movement between move 2, attack, move 3, whatever the movement value is, which is typically 5. So if you're going to move, that's your only move. So I'm going to move 2 spaces, even though I could move 5. Now I attack. That's it. There is no, now I'm going to back up for 3. No. You don't get to do that. So if I can move this over, fold this side in, we've got some spaces for cards here. These are where you will put terrain cards. The terrain pieces over here that we've showed off, they all have cards that tell you how the terrain works. And just as a reference to make sure you know again, oh, how does the giant stone face work? This one over here. Well, it works like this. And then you can reference it that way. So that's just kind of what this spot is for. Showdown setups will have you place specific terrain and then random terrain as well. And it'll tell you how the terrain is set up on the cards too. So the game does walk you through, so you're not just left to be like, I guess it works like this. Now, if there is rulings in this game, cards always break or beat the written rules in the rule book. But if you still can't figure out how something works, it's called the rule of death, is what you go to. And you favor it in terms of the monster. So the monster gets that upper hand. If you can't rule how a targeting might work, how the monster movement might work, you go with what will benefit the monster most, as if the game doesn't benefit the monster most already. So yeah, pretty big board. Let's take another look at it. I'll have to like move my camera to fit the whole thing in picture. But yeah, I mean, that is nice. And it's good quality. I mean, that's a hard board. It's nice. Oh, so cool. Stone faces everywhere. Yeah, the world is like all stone faces. And it's dark. It's just darkness, stone faces. Like, it's a nightmare. It really is. And now here we go. The main meat of the box. So there are like thousands of cards. It is nuts. This is crazy, guys. Here we have our Survivor notepads. This is obviously what the core game comes with, but on the internet you can find other Survivor sheets that are done a little bit different. Maybe a little bit more information shown off, laid out in a way that's easier for you to read, so you can always print those out. You don't have to use these, but at least it comes with like a lot, because you're gonna need them. You're gonna need them. So there's bookkeeping in this game. So if you're familiar with Gloomhaven, you're familiar with bookkeeping, and if you love bookkeeping, you'll like Kingdom Death for its bookkeeping, because there's a lot. So these again are your settlement sheets. Yeah, the art on the board is nice. It is so cool. The game's art, once we look at the rulebook and stuff, I mean, it is like sick. It is so cool. And we'll get to that for sure, definitely. What was I was going somewhere with it. Oh, but I wish there was a neoprene mat because I'm a sucker for neoprene and I would pay big money for a neoprene mat. Okay, well, let me rephrase that. I would pay money for a neoprene mat. So if we look at this, you've got, your name, you could select your gender, survival, and your survival actions. This is what will potentially keep your survivors alive. So super duper resource that doesn't regenerate automatically. You need to have things to give you survival back. You start out with 5 movement. Here's your other stats. You have your stats we talked about earlier. You start out with 0s across the board. You have brain armor, insanity. The more insane you are, the more you can handle the horrors of this world. But there is a drawback to being super insane as well. You've got your armor locations for your bodies because you're going to be crafting gear and weapons and items. So you can tank more damage, hopefully. These are your hit locations as well. And how many times you can get hit in that location when you don't have armor. So you get a light wound first, then you get a heavy wound, you get knocked down. Any more damage passed from other attacks, you roll on the severe injury table, which could kill your character. Show up to play KDM with all your paperwork and a trapper keeper. You're gonna need a lot of paperwork. You need like binders of paper. You're gonna need folders. It's crazy. Your hunt experience, as your character goes out on hunts, they level up to a point where they will end up retiring, but you can get some awesome perks along the way. Then you have weapon proficiency. You can become proficient in weapons. So if you're familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, you're proficient with like martial weapons. Well, bada bing. You can use martial weapons, get your +2, whatever your proficiency bonus is. This, not quite that way, but you can select a weapon that you want to be proficient with. Axe, sword, spears, what have you. There's a good list of stuff. And then as you wound, you can unlock really good abilities with that type of weapon and awesome abilities. Master. So you have specialist and master to get there. And you can always change your weapon proficiency, but you lose all levels whenever you change your weapon proficiency. Next, you got courage, which also can gain you some cool benefits and gives you some pretty sweet little abilities in here for your survivor. Understanding, similar thing, just different benefits. Fighting arts, you can have 3. These are new like skills, abilities for your character to use. You can actually acquire disorders. Like I can no longer wear armor on my chest, or I am honorable and I will not fight the monster if he is knocked down, that kind of stuff. Abilities and impairments, so just more abilities and impairments like, oh, my character lost an arm. And once per lifetime reroll. So there will be an opportunity to acquire the ability to use this. So let's say you roll a 1 on the severe injury table and your character's head explodes in a fountain of blood. Well, you can re-roll that dice and maybe your character actually lives. So yeah, that's a quick breakdown of the character sheet. Put those away. Do they have digital docs so you could keep it on a tablet? There is, oh, what is the name? There is an app where it will run, you can keep all your survivors, all your settlement rewards and armor and everything in the app. Why did I just forget it? People are going to kill me now. What was it? The Scribe app. It should still be active and you can set up the campaign that you're running and you can put your survivors and everything inside of that app and it keeps it for you. So you don't actually have to use the paperwork. But I prefer pen and paper. But yes, the Scribe app. And that does help to make people's lives easier as well. Here is the survivor board. Look, that's my phone. Here's the survivor boards. Let's open this up so the glare isn't like burning our eyes. Da-da-da. How do I do this without ruining everything? I got dog hair on me. My dog is Fluffy. and sheds a lot. She's a Papillon, and so there's hair everywhere. How am I gonna do this? I just need to send it. Just send it. Ow, my finger! I may need a sharper knife. Hold on. Sorry, Sting. Don't cut myself. I'm gonna cut myself. I could do this, guys. I've worked construction. I know how to do this. Scavenge your pants. Or, yes. I will need plenty. But my wife and I do like office supplies, so we do have a lot of pens, pencils. I cannot open this. What am I doing? Why can't I do this? Oh, there we go. I figured it out. Figured it out. I could do this. Yep. Got it. No difficulties. I was just playing. Come on. All right. So let's pull this off. It's hot in my house. Or it could be because I'm wearing a beanie inside of my own house. But that's because my hair is a mess. Y'all don't want to see that. Alright, so let's take a look at one of these character sheets. Bam. So this is your character grid. This is where you'll set, oh, there's a glare, the black, boom. Where you'll set your gear pieces. I was driving the struggle bus. I wasn't even looking at this, looking out the bus or holding onto the steering wheel. Or putting out the stop sign when loading kids on it. What? This is where you'll place your survivor's gear, and we'll take a look at some of that stuff. That's like all these little cards. And then you'll be able to kind of piece gear together and kind of puzzle it to activate abilities, and we'll look more about that when we open some of that. But you can only hold 9 pieces of gear, and you cannot have multiple pieces of body gear to the same body location. For example, like a helmet, you can't have 2 helmets on your gear grid to double up the armor bonus. You can only have 1. And then here it tells us our survivor's activation. You can move, you can activate, which is to interact with terrain or to attack. And then during your act, boom, you've got these here. Survival actions, just to give you some bonuses in combat. You'll always have unarmed combat. So if you have no weapons in your gear grid, or your weapons just happen to break, because yes, some weapons can break, you'll always be able to use fist and tooth. Even if you don't have arms, fist and tooth, I believe even if your arms are gone, because it also says tooth. Now, I don't know what happens if you have a broken jaw and no arms. I think you just retire at that point. But yeah, that can actually happen. Your character can lose both arms and have a broken jaw. And then these are just the stats to follow. It requires your 1 activation. You're going to roll 2 d10s. You're looking for an 8 or better to hit the monster. And the 0 is for strength. That's how much bonus you get to trying to wound the monster. So every monster has a toughness. Let's say the monster's current toughness is 6. Well, you need to roll a 6 or better when you go to wound. This 0 is just giving you plus 0 to that wound, or minus 0. So for example, if this was a 1, it would be 6 minus 1, which is 5. So you need to roll a 5 or better to wound. And if you roll a natural 10 on the d10, it's a lantern as the symbol. And we'll look at the dice. That's an automatic crit or perfect hit, depending if you're hitting or wounding, which is always going to land you a hit or wound. Even if the monster had like 100 toughness, you roll a natural 10, you're going to wound. And then it comes with Deadly, which is an ability, plus 1 luck when you attack with this weapon. So that means Deadly allows you to land crits easier. So you crit on a 10, but with a plus 1, you crit on a 9 and a 10. So you sacrifice strength for the ability to land crits. You can be more precise with your phalanges. So there is that. And then these are just keywords. Abilities and stuff will reference keywords, weapons, melee, fist and tooth. So you can get some bonuses off of that. So yep, character gear grid. We had our character sheets. All that you gotta just keep in mind. And let's look at some more paper, because why not? That's what we're here for, is to look at paper. So here we are. This is your settlement sheet. Back to the bookkeeping. This is to record your progress in your current game. So if you want to play multiple different sessions with people, you can always refer back to, okay, well, which settlement or which campaign are we playing? And you can set it back up for that. So there is some setup time with this game, as you can, oops, I hit my camera. As you could tell, there's a lot to it. So you've got your starting survival limit. You can name your settlement. You have your death count. And then you've got all your lantern years to try to beat the game. Horrible things happen all the time. You got milestones, story events that trigger some really cool things. Your innovations. See, it says language. Whenever you beat the prologue, the intro to the game, you're going to start with language. But the prologue, you could actually lose all your survivors. So that's how hard this game can be. Principles. These are things that are your what your settlement has established. Oh, it says it right there. The settlement's established. So you get some cool abilities when certain things happen based on what principles you have for your settlement. And there's different choices. And that helps with replayability just within building up your settlement. And then you have your settlement locations. These are where you'll craft your weapons and gear and items, all kinds of crazy stuff. So like a monster hunter, basically. Just think of it, oh, I'm going to craft, the Anjanath fire armor set or whatever. And then also have his sword or something based on what you're running. And then you have your quarries. These are the 3 main quarries in the core game. The White Lion, Screaming Antelope, and Phoenix, all of which can be played at higher difficulties, which increases the hunt difficulty. The showdown becomes more brutal, but you get more rewards out of it. And you'll be able to fight these multiple times throughout going through this. And then you're going to have nemesis encounters, like the Butcher, the Kingsman. These are encounters that make the quarries look like little children. Like, these are brutal. Brutal. The nemesis stuff. It's great. It's great. And then on the flip side to that, here we can pull one off. Ba-ba-boom. On the flip side, we've got your storage for all your resources, your gear. Here's your nemesis monsters right here. And the different levels you can fight them at. Lantern research level and monster volumes over here. Just some extra notes like don't roll like shit and don't suck. You can put that there and that should help boost everybody. Your population limit, and then your name of all your survivors, their gender, and other notes, and then your lost settlements. As you continue to lose the game over and over and over again, you get to tick these boxes in. And when you lose so many settlements in a row, you get benefits. So the game knows you're gonna lose and it's gonna be rough. Now, naming survivors, you don't have to do right away with all your survivors when you determine what your population count's going to be. It's whenever you're going to swap out a survivor with somebody, you can be like, oh, now I'm going to name them. So it's not something you have to do straight away, except for your 4 starting survivors. And when playing solo, you have to control 4 characters. Or you control 5 or 6, but that increases the difficulty of the game even more. Stop doing that. All right. Let's take a look. This is the rule book. This is going to be harder to get out, so we're going to go with these cards first. Remove this. Throw it on the floor. Oh my. Look at this stack of cards. Billy, is this game about losing and dying? Yep. No, it is beatable. It is beatable. It's very hard, and I have not experienced it, by the way. I have not. And I played quite a bit on Tabletop Simulator. You could play it for free on that. Well, actually, Tabletop Simulator I think costs like $20 right now. But outside of that, once you pay the 20, you can just play it whenever. So look at all these cards. Let's open this up and see what we got. You can win. There is just a lot of death in this game. Just a lot of death. And we'll show you some of the art, some of the graphic art, because it is a graphic game. Ooh, man. So, let's take a look. So this is, when we look at this, this is your lantern armor. I've never used any of this. These are when you have full gear sets built up of a specific type of gear, you can get a set bonus card. Let's see if I can put that up here. Bam. And it's going to give you some awesome abilities to use to help you out. And they have a male version side and a female side. And yes, the miniatures in this game, all those miniatures I showed off at the beginning, you can craft that out of the miniatures. It's nuts. We're not going to go through every single card individually. We'll be here for hours longer. But for example, this is the leather armor. You can get this somewhat early on. Bam. And we have the Phoenix armor. It just, all the armor sets look so cool. And then we've got the rawhide. This is what you can get fairly quick out of the, like, Lantern Year 2, so your second session, you could probably have a full set of rawhide gear built up. So yeah, pretty sweet stuff. Crafting full sets of gear, but you don't have to craft a full set of one gear. You could just be like, I'm going to mix and match my gear. I'm going to use the rawhide gear and the leather gear combined together if there's benefits you can get out of that. Then there's resources. We've got strange resources. Strange resources are a little bit harder to come by. Here's the back of that. But these will help you to be able to craft gear and just be able to use in the settlement. For example, we have iron. All it does is it's just iron. But when you reference how to build certain gear, and we'll show off what tells you to do that, you're going to need some of these cards. And then we've got fresh Acanthius, for any of y'all that like the green, the devil's lettuce. This stuff will heal you. It's really great to have. Leather to help build that leather armor. And then we've got an elder cat tooth. Meow. As sharp as they are strange. Wow, we got some interesting stuff. Things that I haven't seen before when I've played the game. Because mind you, I've not made it super far or ever beat it. So yeah, some pretty cool stuff. And the art in this game is nice. It's kind of got like an anime feel to it. And again, welcome everyone to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Let's take a look at the basic resources. So basic resources, every time you beat a monster, you're going to be able to draw 4 random basic resources. So you'll shuffle up this deck and then draw 4 at random. And so you'll have things like monster bone. You're going to have potentially broken lanterns were inside of the monster's stomach. Monster hide to build gear out of. Love juice. Yes, because in this game, you can make the babies. Or you could die trying. Everything in this game can kill you. Organs. Because yes, we all love organs. A skull. And you can wear the skull too. And then this is an anything resource. It's your wild card. It could be organ, bone, hide, or a consumable. if you want to eat it for whatever reason. A perfect bone. Nice. Perfect organ and perfect height. I've not seen these. These must be new to 1.6. That's pretty cool. So yes, again, this is Kingdom Death 1.6. So there's been other editions of Kingdom Death Monster, and they've been doing balance changes and work throughout. And that doesn't mean you have to buy a whole brand new box. So you have the updated stuff. They released what's called the Legendary Card Pack, which is like 20 bucks, and you can replace the cards that they've upgraded and fixed. All right, now let's see what else we got in this huge stack of so many things. We have the White Lions hit location deck. So every AI in the game has that hit location. This deck... Wait, never mind. This is the wrong deck. Sorry. This is the Hunt Track. I'm a noob. I swear I've done this before. This is the Hunt Track. So whenever you're hunting the monster, before you get to fight it, you're going to have different encounters. All of these have different things that can happen, which can be beneficial or terrifying for you. So let's look at like marked territory. We'll look at this card as an example. So whenever you're on the hunt track, you reveal this card and it'll say the White Lion has marked this area. If any survivor has 3+ understanding, they realize the area is covered in ammonia. If they have not invented it yet, the survivor settlement gains the ammonia innovation. So there you go. It's a way to gain an innovation, unless you've already got it. And then down here it says roll random hunt event. So you roll 2d10s to create your d100. Then you're going to reference the rule book for what event rolls up. Like I roll a 56. Then you'll reference the rule book and then see what extra horrible things happen to you. So it's the lore part of the game. You get to learn more about the world and stuff. And then, let's see what else we got over here. We've got some secret fighting arts. These are brutal, epic abilities for survivors. Typically gained by luck and surviving horrific things that happen to you. So yes, by luck. So for example, we have King's Step. We'll look at this card. This is a secret fighting art after you deal with a nemesis called the Kingsman. If you're able to perform whatever check is required for you to be successful to get this card, you can unlock this and have this as an ability for you to use in the game. And it says record and archive because multiple players can gain it. So you write down, well, we got the King's Step, take any extra notes if you need to remember, what it does, and then you just put it back in the box, or well, shuffle it back in the deck. So somebody else could potentially gain it as well. And so there's all kinds of different things. Bone Whisper, Beast of Keratosis, and all kinds of cool things. Synchronized Strike, sweet. Can you lose secret fighting art, or does it stay with your character through progression? There are ways to lose secret fighting arts, and when your character dies, you'll lose it that way. But it's pretty rare to lose a secret fighting art. In most cases, or not most cases, it's still kind of rare. Sometimes you won't be able to activate your fighting arts for so much time. Like something might prevent you from being able to do it until the end of the showdown. So that character just can't do that ability until the next time they go out on a showdown. But typically you'll be able to use it when it's applied. Losing them mainly through death. But they are, again, super hard to get, so the game doesn't just take them away from you. Unless you die. It's the name of the game. It's Kingdom Death Monster. All right, what else we got in here? So in this pack, we've got the Vermin Stack. The Vermin Stack, this is, again, kind of more resources. Bugs, insects. Like this one says, consume. Let's bring it up. Consume. Archive this card and gain 3 survival. Survival, again, is your resource to hopefully keeping your character alive. So it's a good insect to consume. as long as your character can consume. I've had one of my characters get their jaw broken and they could no longer activate gear that said consume. So I wouldn't be able to eat the bug and get that ability. This game is just too cool. It creates a lot of epic moments, y'all. And right here we have resource decks for the white lion, like specific resources for the monster that you're fighting. So we have white lion resource, we've got screaming antelope resource, and phoenix resource. And it's only for the quarry monsters. Again, there's quarries and nemesis. Nemesis, you don't get nemesis specific resources like this, but they do give you some really cool things when you beat them. So let's look at some white lion resources. Just kind of show off some stuff you might see. Great cat bone. You might see golden whiskers, a lion tail, which again it says hide. So again, you can use it as hide. Sinew. This is an organ, so you can use it for that. Shimmering mane. And what I really want to show everybody, because it's super cool. Hold on. It's in here. I know it is. Where are you? Where did you go? Unless they took it out of this game. Wait, where is it? It's got to be in here. Maybe I passed it. Curious hand, eye of cat, white fur, hide, golden whiskers, lion claw, lion. There it is. The lion testes. A healthy pair of nuts. Just because. Why not, right? The white line's the only one that has that, by the way. Alright, so we made it through that stack. Showed off just some cards. I didn't want to go through every single card. So I need a beer break. Again, this video is not sponsored by anyone, but this is Voodoo, and if you drink, Voodoo is for you. Woohoo. Alright, another pack of cards. Look at this. Mommy? This is insane. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you don't have to get up early in the morning. I do. Doesn't matter. We're going through all of this. I just want to make sure I can open up these packs without ruining cards. You know, it's kind of stressful opening up card packs and making sure you don't ruin something. Oh. Okay. Yes, Voodoo Ranger. It is a IPA. It's super good. Here, hold up. Don't worry, we'll get back to this. Let me open up my koozie. This one, check that out. Bam. Future Hop IPA. 8.0. Look, this game will make you drink. I'm sorry. It just has that effect on people. And I work with kids. I'm sorry. Dad, don't watch this. My dad's my boss. At one of my jobs. Yes, I work 2 jobs. 6 days a week. I'm nuts. Okay, let's put this stuff on the ground. So I threw it on the ground. Alright, so earlier when I was talking about weapon proficiencies, you could build up to gaining specializations and masteries of weapons. So let's just take a look at some of these cards. I hope you're ready. So for example, we have a specialization for the whip. And so it gives you an ability. This will be on that particular survivor who likes using whips when you unlock it. And then if you flip it over, you have the mastery side. This is what you're trying to go for as long as your survivor lives long enough. Epic stuff. And you'll be able to pass down, when you have the mastery, specializations to other survivors that are using the whip. I believe I have that right. So they don't have to necessarily grind through. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. And that goes for all the weapons. So we'll look at some of these. Won't read them in detail. If you want to, you can always pause the video, but you don't want to spoil yourself. Ooh, the Twilight Sword. So you have the sword. Let's put that down here so I can see. Spear, shields. You've got katars. Oh, those things are cool. Katars are cool. Grand weapons. Ew. Fist and tooth, because yeah, punch and bite things. Like when I was a kid. Dagger. Club. A bow. Yes, there are ranged weapons. And an axe. And then again, we had the whip. So bada bing. And there are different variations of weapon types as well. I need to bring you some electric jellyfish from Pine House. What? Yes. Yes, you do. You need to make this happen sooner than later. I think you might know where I live. The house is always open. Well, the doors are locked, but you're more than welcome to go over. I have OCD with locking doors. It's come from watching horror movies at a young age. So with the weapons, so for example, you might be able to craft a bone axe, but then you might be able to get another axe later on that's not a bone axe. It's a more like boosted up version of an axe or something, or spears, but they have their set weapon types. So again, like if I reference Monster Hunter, I keep going to that game because that's a 1 versus 4 style game, right? And that's what Kingdom Death is in the showdown. You'll have, your sword and shield character. You'll have your insect bow or insect glaive and stuff. And you'll have different variants of that based on the monsters that you're hunting and killing. So it's a similar thing there. But that doesn't mean that every monster you kill you could craft a sword specific to that monster. It'll make more sense when we get to this card stack here. And we'll get there eventually. Tomorrow at midnight. And then we have, what are these actually? Furious, but these are that's hit locations for somebody. That's the butcher. And these are, I have no idea what these are trait cards. I have not actually seen these cards before. But again, traits are cards that are typically used by monsters. See how it says trait? Trait mood, and that's a persistent injury icon with the skull. This is a trait card, so maybe specific to certain monsters. While green lenses open, the hand, this is for the hand. I don't want to spoil myself on this stuff. So there's some spoily content. Sorry, everyone. We're just going to put that stuff away. You saw nothing. You saw nothing. All right, and then here's the hit location decks. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Let's look at the white line. The reason why I keep going to the white line for stuff is because whenever you start the game, your prologue, this is your tutorial to get you into the game. It's not going to tell you all the rules. It even says you're going to probably make mistakes playing the game, but that's part of the introduction into the game because Kingdom Death has so much content and rules. Like the unboxing already has been over an hour and a half. So think about trying to teach somebody how to play the game from start to finish. Every single rule. So the prologue does a great job introducing you into the mechanics and then slowly builds you up. But it doesn't hold your hand. It's going to take your hand away from you is what it's going to do. All right, so let's reference the White Lion because the White Lion is your first monster you fight in the prologue. And it's actually a simpler version of the actual White Lion. And the prologue can still kill all your characters. Or a few of them. Or none of them. You could all survive. I've had it happen all kinds of different ways. So, hit location deck. Bada bing. It's a silverback card, not the golderback. Golderback? With the golderback. Hit locations. Shabam shablang. And so whenever you are rolling to attack, you're going to roll your weapon and you're going to attempt to hit the monster. And if you hit, based on how many times you hit, you're going to take cards from the top of the deck and it's going to be shuffled up. So it's all random and you reveal a card. Bam. In this case, we revealed the Glorious Mane, which means we'd be trying to attempt to wound this location. However, I'm throwing kind of an advanced card at you. Glorious Mane says impervious, right here in the blue. That means you cannot wound this location. See, previous hit locations cannot be wounded. A wound or critical wound will not remove an AI card from the monster. But if you do critically wound it, rolling a natural 10, which is a lantern, you can get some resources and other cool things out of it. So let's choose a card that is not impervious, like this one. It's a trap card. We're going to put you away for right now. We're not showing people a trap card yet. And this one. There we go. That's better. Beast's Tail. So this is the location you're hitting. The Beast's Tail. It's going to have a reflex on it. Or a reaction. There are 3 different types of reactions. You've got reflex, wound, or if fail. So the reflex means it's going to do this no matter what outcome you have. And it performs this ability. But if you critically wound it, it's going to cancel the reflex on the card and give you some sweet stuff. So like another card, we've got like a Sterning Neck. Nothing happens. It just says you strike at the monster's throat because you're throat punch, right? Or rip its jugular out. And if you crit, you can get some really cool things happening here. I think an instant kill here. It dies at the end of the next monster turn. Yeah, you could instantly kill the monster. Kind of, instantly. But that requires you to roll 2 natural 10s. So if you're familiar with D&D, you're natural 20s. Well, now natural 10s. And we won't look at all of these, but again, these are the wounds. It's going to have things. So if I failed to wound, because that's a separate roll than attacking, it's another roll I need to do to try to wound it. If I fail, it's going to do this. They may not have a reaction at all, or it'll have a wound reaction. So if you wound it, something happens, which could be beneficial or not, and failures. And then every monster and nemesis, so monster, will have a trap card. Trap cards are in the hit location deck, somewhere randomly, and when you draw this, horrific things happen to you. And then what it's going to tell you to do is reshuffle all the hit locations you've already hit. So it's going to pull cards back into that hit location deck for you to pick on again, or for the monster to potentially gain an upper hand against you if you hit those locations again. So trap cards, mean. Very mean. And every monster nemesis has one, and some are just far worse than others. So yeah, that's the White Lions hit location deck. And it will always be this many cards. When you're building the AI deck, it's going to construct you to build it with so many cards and so many specific levels of cards. And based on the difficulty you want to hunt and fight the monster at, is going to tell you how many more cards you're going to put in and of what card types to really change up the flow and how the AI works. Cards that you wouldn't use are just discarded back to the box or archived back to the box. So there we go. It's a little bit about that. So I'm teaching you rules kind of as we go through this since I know the game. So I'm making this like almost a rule tutorial unboxing. If this was just a pure unboxing, I think I would have been done by now, but I can't shut up. I just can't stop talking. Something's wrong with me. I just haven't talked to real people in a long time. Okay. Just calm down. We're gonna be okay. Okay, I've seen the light. Let's open up another box. Pack of cards. So many cards. It's going to take me like an hour to sleeve all these cards. But again, thank y'all for being here. Ugh. Or for watching later. If you're checking this out later, guys and gals and genders alike, thank y'all for being here, checking it out. It is a long stream, so I get that. I get that's not everybody's cup of tea or coffee or beer, whatever your cup is full of. I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah, my glasses, by the way. Check that out. Custom. Broken. I broke one side and then my daughter broke the other. But they stick on my face until I sneeze. Alright, so let's look at... Oh, these are AI cards. Cool. Cool. This is where... Oh, dude. This is the smartest like AI system in a board game I think I've seen. And I really wish I created this system first. I'm trying to build board games. Kanji Studios, Big Sly TV, myself, and a buddy named Shadow. We're trying to build board games, and we have lots of different ideas and stuff. But man, I really wish I thought of Kingdom Death Monster. But I bet there's a lot of people thinking that too. Alright, so this is the White Lions AI deck, which is also its health. Now, mind you, this is like maybe like almost 30 cards or maybe 20 cards that you're not using all of these cards. And maybe at a higher level, you might see most of these cards in the deck, but when you're really just kind of progressing through the game, you're not going to fight against all these cards. So when you look at a card, we'll flip one over. If you notice, you're going to have a symbol for the white lion. Let me see if I can bring that up closer. Ew, my dirty fingernails. That's the one I picked my nose with. Maybe. White lion symbol. You've got the name of the card. Cunning. You have the card rarity. This is a special rare card. And then it says trait. So this card would start out on that board already in play. And then it tells you what it does and then other additional effects. So this is a card you're not going to see till later in the game when you're fighting a higher level white lion. So let's go to... Ooh, look at this. Legendary cards. Yeah, let's never see that card. There's more legendary cards. But when you're setting up a typical showdown against a level 1 white lion, you're going to have advanced cards represented by the A and basic cards represented by the B. And when constructing the AI deck, it'll say you need 7 basic cards, 3 advanced cards. So you would take all of the advanced cards that it has. You give them a good old shuffle, right? However you want to shuffle, don't bend the cards. Why would you do that? However you want to shuffle, and then you would reveal, well, not reveal, but you would draw 3 of them at random. Don't look at them. I drew 4. But anyways, that's how you would do that. And you would do that with the basic cards. Then you combine that together and then shuffle it. And now you've got your AI action deck ready to go. Again, higher levels, you're going to add in legendary cards, maybe special cards. So it gets beefier and more brutal to fight. Oh yeah, so that's the AI hit location deck. Oh, and again, when dealing with the AI, those cards, again, just kind of pulling this out, they're going to start here. You're going to reveal 1 card. You deal with it. Boom. Monster always goes first. When you wound it, you're going to take a card from the top of the AI action deck and remove it. And you're now reducing what actions it has to take. Hopefully getting rid of the really bad ones, because if not, those cards are going to keep cycling and tearing you apart. And there are loops, continual loops, where a monster could be continuously kicking your characters in the chest, and you're basically just out of luck. It's rare to get into that scenario, but there are loops like that. Maybe a little bit more balanced now. I don't know. Can't tell you. All right, let's look at the last stack of not quite standard size cards. They're like Yu-Gi-Oh size. They're like Yu-Gi-Oh size cards, right? They're like the thinner, kind of smaller. They're really nice. You just have to make sure you get the right size sleeves. Ooh, also one thing for those who are watching this, if you are looking to get into a board game that's not Kingdom Death Monster, but you want to back a game on Kickstarter, tomorrow at 6 in the morning Central Time, Call of Killforth is coming out. And this again is not a paid promotion of any kind, but it just reoccurred to me that my other favorite game, Gloom of Killforth, Shadows of Killforth, the third series is coming on to Kickstarter tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. So if you want to back a Kickstarter game, check that out. It's going to be epic. Epic, epic, epic. All right, anyways, back to Kingdom Death. So here it looks like we've got more AI cards for Gold Smoke Knight. So these are more AI action cards. Let's see. Ooh, innovations. Here we go. Here we go. Hold up. At my glyph. The falling off my face because they're broken. So let's move these cards because these are just AI cards. And I don't want to spoil stuff from even myself. That's AI. Innovation. The innovation deck is so cool. It is so cool. Oh man, I love the innovation deck in this game. It's a persistent building deck. So you're going to try to continue to build it. You're going to add more cards into it, and then gives you more things to potentially innovate, to add technologies to your settlement, to give you some really cool bonuses and abilities, and raise your survival limit, or give you survival when you're departing, so you're not completely like, I'm out of survival. Which, being out of survival doesn't mean you're going to die, usually. It's not like a straight up, you're dead. So innovation deck, here's some more innovation cards. Is that all of them? Yep, all of them for now. So there's a lot of cards in the innovation deck, and you're not going to have all these available to use. You're going to start off with language in play when you get to the settlement event after the prologue, which is the third phase in the game. You're going to start with language. Let's see if I can find it. There, it's the first card. So you're going to start with this card in play. And it says right here, starting innovation. So it even lets you know you're going to start with it because that's what start means. And then you have your survival limit. This is going to give you +1 more survival. Yay! Because your settlement starts with 1 survival. That's what this is telling you. And then it says all survivors gain courage, which is a survival action. It allows you to stand players up if they've been knocked down. And then it tells you to add language consequences to the innovation deck. So you're going to build your innovation deck with language consequences. And you know it's a language consequence right here. Art, language consequence. So now we're going to be able to add painting to the deck, inner lantern, ammonia, symposium, a hovel. Ew. This is really epic to have. Actually, all these kind of are. Drums. And boom, drums. Ooh, woo. So some graphic imagery, right? Just you know, show that out there. Language. So then what you would do is you would have this card stays out on the board. These cards get shuffled up, and then you'll be able to potentially build these innovations. They just cost resources and stuff, but you don't know which one you're going to be able to build. It's all random at that point. And then based on the ones that you build, Inner Lantern adds Inner Lantern consequences, and so you would search for Inner Lantern consequences. Add those to the deck. Shuffle it up. So it's how you kind of build it up, but you're building up more innovations, gives you more things to choose from, but you might not be able to get to the thing that you may really want because it's all random and you're pushing more cards into the deck. But you don't always have to innovate. But I find this to be a smart path to take, says the man who's never beaten the game. Next, we've got, oh, more innovations. I missed some. We have some more innovation cards. Or this is New Life Principle. But they are still considered innovations. These cards, when they come into play after you acquire a specific principle, these cards will stay out to help your settlement. So you've got things like survival of the fittest, or protect the young whenever you give birth to a child and stuff. Graves or cannibalism, yep, you can eat your other people. And this comes from a specific event. So yeah, pretty cool. And then, what I mentioned way early on is basic action cards. So basic action cards are whatever the monster has. So we'll look at the white lines. This tells you how to build the deck, your basic cards, your advanced cards, so on and so forth. It tells you your monster stats, the movement, toughness, whatever else it may have. And then here it says this is for the prologue. It has a custom deck build. So you're going to know what cards are in it. If it cannot target anyone and can't target anyone, it can't attack anyone, what it's going to do is perform its instinct instead. So there's always something that the monster could do unless it's knocked down. And then the basic action, whenever it's referenced, is this. So whenever the AI has no AI cards left in its deck, all the AI cards are in the wound stack, it's going to reference this card until it's hit one more time, and then the monster's dead. So, pretty cool. What else we got in this stack cards? We got Disorder. Disorder. The toxicity of our settlement. Sorry. Disorders. Yes, you can acquire disorders. And you can have up to 3 disorders. So like here we have anxiety, which is what a lot of people suffer from. You are afraid of being afraid. You are a nervous wreck. These cards are mean. And monsters can smell this in your scent. At the start of each showdown, gain the priority target token unless you have stinky gear in your gear grid. This could help based on how you're building out a survivor. If you want them to be the priority target, they could become the first one to be attacked, which can help the players out. So some of these, they can be utilized effectively, but sometimes you're just like, you're not being super helpful. Like, let's say, Fear the Dark. Let's look at this card. Fear of the dark. I have a constant fear that something's always near. You cannot bear the oppressive darkness any longer. You retire. Holy crap. That means that character can no longer go out on hunts or showdowns. It can only be used in the settlement. If you gain this disorder during a hunt or showdown, you put on a brave face until you return to the settlement, vowing never to leave the Lantern Horde again. The Lantern Horde is kind of a protecting force of light within this dark world, and that's what you're building your settlement around. But again, that's more lore as you play the game. So yeah, just some crazy stuff. Let's look at one more. Let's go with apathetic. What'd you call me? Apathetic. You've given up. Nothing seems to matter. You have no concern for your own well-being. You cannot use or gain survival. You cannot gain courage. Cure this disorder if you have 8+ understanding. Getting 8+ understanding? Yeah, right. So again, these things are brutal, but some things could help you, like Quixotic. This is a good one. Quixotic. You carry the weight of your settlement on your shoulders. Everyone is counting on you to save them, and you will rise to the challenge. If you are insane when you depart, gain 1 survival and gain a plus strength token. So that token is going to help you with the current showdown. After that showdown, that strength token goes away, but as long as your character stays quixotic, this ability is going to continue to happen. And they have to be insane, though, which is a resource you can gain throughout showdowns and hunts and settlement events and stuff. So really cool. Really cool. And brutal at the same time. All right, let's see what else we got. Looks like we've got player tokens. So we have like first player tokens. There's a number of those, and second player tokens, third player tokens, fourth player tokens, and then we have a monster trait. Man. So these are like your starting survivors, and all they have is like a loincloth. Then we have your life trait card for monsters. Use D10s to indicate the monster's current life. So this can make it, I think, harder. So you have to like bust through that before you wound, I believe. That's if you're going to play it on a harder difficulty. All right, here we go. Fighting arts. These cards are awesome. This is like the good stuff. Stuff that's going to help you kick some booty. Booty. So we have like Berserker, for example. Once per showdown, you may spend an activation to suffer bash and the frenzy brain trauma, which can be beneficial to your character. I know frenzy for sure allows you to increase your strength and your speed, so how many attacks you get. So attempts to hit, and giving you more strength allows you to wound easier. But there's also some negative side effects to that too. But it's still a good card to have because you can stack some of these traumas together. Then you have things like Crazed. On a perfect hit, you gain Insanity. That's a Lantern 10 when you go to hit the monster. Let's look at Extra Sense. This is a cool one. You may dodge 1 additional time per round. Typically, whenever you use a survival action, you can use it only once per round. And that one allows you to gain an additional use of dodging. So you can completely dodge a monster's hit and all damage it would apply. Timeless Eye. Your attack roll is a perfect hit on a result of a 10 or a 9 or a 10. And you cannot use Timeless Eye if you have the blind severe head injury. So yeah, if you're blind, then that would negate this ability. So as you said, or asking earlier, Billy, some cards can only be activated if you meet the requirements like having sight. So if you're blind, you can't use Timeless Eye. If you don't have arms, you can't use other abilities that would require you to have arms. So there's a lot of really cool abilities in here. These are to benefit your character, and you can have up to 3 fighting arts or secret fighting arts and kind of combo together. You don't get 3 fighting arts, 3 secret fighting arts, but you can mix and match, and you can lose one if you need to replace it with another one. Bada bing, bada boom. And yes, 6 days a week of work. It's crazy. It's crazy. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? And then here's the terrain deck. Yes, this game is incredibly challenging to actually play through and win. You're right. You are right. But it's a lot of fun. So as much as I say, you're gonna die here, die there, die everywhere. There's a lot of like epic moments that can happen, and whenever you beat a showdown and survive through it, it feels super rewarding. It's like playing a Dark Souls video game. When you beat the boss, you're just like, oh my gosh, yes. And your settlement, you don't just have your 4 people. You start the game with the 4 in the prologue, but when you go to the settlement, you're going to determine your population count. So you'll have anywhere from, I think, like 6 more, 8 more, 10 more. So at max up to 14 starting off the game. So that's kind of like 14 lives to beat the game, almost. And you're not always going to die. But again, it does come down to the dice rolling a lot of the times. But like I said, the game does like to kill you. This is your terrain deck. So again, whenever we were looking at those tokens earlier, let's pop out a token just to kind of reference one. This is the giant stone face. You're going to place this somewhere down on the main board. And then you might be like, okay, well, what does the giant stone face do? Let me tell you what it does. It does whatever this says. Giant stone face. And then it says it's an obstacle and it explains what that is. Impassable explains what that is. And then it tells you what you can do if you want to spend your activation. You can get some bonuses here, some extra effects, just things to keep in mind. And then it tells you how to set it up on the board. 5 spaces away from all board edges. So you can't just place something down wherever you want. There's a specific areas and stuff that it kind of has to go with. But yeah, giant stone face, and you could almost pull 2 of them if you wanted, since there's 2 cards. So yeah, different sorts of terrains, they all have how they work. Like debris, if you roll high enough, you can get a scrap sword. And it says 10 plus. There are ways to be able to increase your die rolls over 10. Typically, you need to have something like an item like a sickle that allows you to gain an extra dice to roll. And then you can add those results and see what happens. But like right here, if you roll really low, something bites you, suffer 1 damage, so suffer 1 arm damage, and then you archive that terrain. So you went in to try to see what you could get out of the Arcantheus plants, and you got bit by something. And so you suffer damage. So some pretty cool things can happen in there. Or bad. And then you have your random hunt event cards. These will be placed somewhere along the hunt board, just like the monster hunt events that I showed off earlier with the white lion. These just tell you to roll a D100 for a random hunt event, which is found in the rule book. So when you have those cards, that's just all that means. And you choose 1 to represent the 10s, 1 to represent the 1s, and then you roll. So in this example, you have a 35, and it tells you right here, 35. But that's not what you flip, because they're all the same. You actually roll the dice and create the result yourself, and then reference the rule book for what happens. But being some more innovations, I have never seen these. So this is pretty cool stuff. I won't spoil what all that does, but the art looks sweet. Look at that. Hiya! Master of the universe. And then special hunt events. I have not ran into special hunt event. So these are certain things that can happen as well during the hunt event. Okay, that is all of the cards that were on this side. Look, let me move out of the way real quick. Yeah. That whole tray was full of all those cards. Oh my god. The rule book. Oh yeah. This is a hardcover rule book. I had my soft cover replaced by the hardcover. I prefer hardcover anyways, but it is an additional cost. Just keep that in mind. Everything costs money. That's why I work 6 days a week. So I can fund my addictions. Which is typically just board games. Typically. So let's now look at the rule book and some of the horrific images you'll see. Oh, I'm excited to show you this. If I can open it. Let's take back Sting. Come on, Sting, do your thing. I'm gonna get it, I promise. Look, Sting is old, okay? He's been used a lot. Might be losing his effectiveness. But yeah, this is the rule book. It's pretty big. My sweaty hands. That's why I also got the hardcover. Look at that. And then, boom. Woohoo! Very fancy. Then obviously it's got stuff here. It's got the table of contents because that is all needed. And then it gives you your introduction into how to play. And it talks about your phases, your showdowns, hunts, settlement phase. And then it gets you into the story. Past that, some crazy art there. Let's go to here. And it reminds you that it is a miniature assembly game. So let's go to... This is the severe injury table. This is where whenever you have no armor left and your hit locations have been hit a number of times they can withstand, after that, you're going to reference this book. And so, for example, we'll just read head. If you roll a 1 or a 2, head explosion. Your head erupts in a shower of gore, killing you instantly. All other survivors are so disturbed, they lose 1 survival. Right? That is brutal. Then we've just got some cool art. Ooh, the glare. I gotta turn that overhead light off. That's what's doing it. What else do we have? Oh, look at this. This is the screaming antelope. That's what you can fight. And yes, it can eat people. It can devour you, and horrific things happen to you, and that's what this describes. I mean, it is terrifying. What other mineral gathering? Ooh, I keep hitting my camera. Sorry. Mineral gathering. These are story events and things. Here's a showdown example. This is against the Kingsman. He is an AI that you can fight against. So let's see where the white line's at. See the truth. He's probably closer to the front of the board, if I had to guess. Oh, here's a screaming antelope. No, maybe the white line's over here. Here it is. The white lion. I gotta reach around my camera. Reach around. So here's the white lion. Just an image of it, holding a dead survivor. And then it gives you some lore on the white lion, and then it tells you its setup, how you'll set up the hunt track with the white lion hunt events and random hunt events in all blank locations. And then the showdown setup itself, where your survivors can stand, where the monster is deployed, and your terrain, your aftermath, your victory, or your defeat if it manages to defeat you, and then rewards listed here as well. So there's your information for like a monster. Bada bing! Maybe we'll take a look at more stuff here in a moment inside of that, because there's so many cool things in there. All right, you got your dice. You've got your D10s. These are what you're going to be using to do everything. And you've got the lantern side. Go ahead and open this. Let's use my sharp knife. Don't cut myself. Please don't cut myself. I don't want to cut myself anymore. I'm past that. I'm past that. I don't work out anymore. It's really starting to show. I could fit into my grandfather's swim trunks. Not saying anything against him, just saying. So, the D10s, you have your lantern. This is your critical. Anytime you roll a lantern to go to hit, you're going to hit. Anytime you go to roll a lantern, or when you roll a lantern and you wound, it's always a wound. So, that's that. But then you've got a 1. A 1 is bad. 1 is bad. 1's very bad. And then you've got your other values in between. And then you have hit location dice. So when the monster attacks you, it's going to roll so many of these. And then it has to determine, well, where does it hit my character? You determine it by this dice. You've got the waist. You've got your chest, legs, arms, head. And you've got 2 spots for the chest. So you'll roll these per each hit you take. And then you'll apply the amount of damage you suffered onto those locations. You've got the red die. This, I think, is your death die. And then you've got you can use the white die for representing one of your D100s. So you can easily tell which dice was the 1s and which dice was the 10 value. Ooh, delicious. Hollow? No, don't eat that stuff. Is that my beard hair already in there? That's funny. You've got dividers to help you kind of organize within this tray, but again, there are custom trays that you can get to replace this one. Don't need to open up the dividers. Here are your settlement event cards. This is your first day card. This is what you're going to reference when you go to the settlement for the first time. And then after that, you'll never use that card again. And instead, it's going to be the rest of the cards in here. So let's take a look at some of these. So you can see how cool and brutal even the settlement phase can be, which is supposed to be your time of breathing and relaxation. But again, every phase in the game can kill you. So I want to show y'all one card in particular. If you don't want to see it, come back in like a few minutes then. So first day card. It's pretty cool. This is going to determine your population start and then kick you off into the campaign. But then we've got this card as a random settlement event. Something that can happen to you randomly. It's called Plague. Ain't that fitting? This has the potential to kill survivors. But you can also treat the plague if you have ammonia or you roll well enough to treat the plague. But yeah, look at that. Select 4 survivors with at least 1 Hun XP. They're infected. Each rolls a D10. And horrific things can happen. You can lose characters in the settlement event. But you can also have some really cool things happen, like Stranger in the Dark is a cool one. You could potentially get a new survivor that way. You've got, oh look, you've got murder. Because why not? But then you have stuff like Lights in the Sky. This event here helps you when you're trying to do specific innovations, gives you some bonuses and boons. So yeah, these, every time you go into this settlement event, you're going to shuffle this deck up. So let's just shuffle it a little bit. I don't have them in sleeves, so I don't want to go too crazy with the shuffling. And then you reveal one at random. And I got Skull Eater. And then you read what happens and see what happens to your characters. Once that's done, you'll then progress through the settlement phase and continue until you're ready to depart and go hunt the beast that you're looking for. So, bam. And again, the first day card, this is the one you automatically use when you first start the game. After that, you go to this deck. Shablam da blam. Next we have more dividers for your different types of gear that you can have in the game. Because yes, you're crafting gear. Duh. I mean, beer break. Ugh. Yeah, I'm so hyped. I'm gonna be up all night trying to put all these cards in sleeves. Yes, I bought enough sleeves. Hey, that's my beard. Sorry. Here. This. This is my favorite stuff. I love this stuff. This is so cool. So let's open this. These are your settlement locations. This is where you're building your gear, crafting your weapons, your items, other things. Not so cool, guys. This is this is so fun. I can't wait to play this game. It's gonna be a bit though, because I have to build the miniatures. You don't have to. You could use things to represent the minis. You don't have to paint them, but you're kind of losing out on a little bit of the purpose of a hobby game, building miniatures. That's part of the enjoyment of Kingdom Death or frustration. But it also pulls you, I think, more into it because you're like, I built this miniature and you get to fight it, or, you know, right? So it feels good even if you lose because you built the miniature. So here's one of the settlement locations, Barber Surgeon. This tells you what you can build with what items you need to build it. Now, as far as what the items do themselves, you'll have to reference the cards for that. And then sometimes these will have other abilities, things that you can also do that cost endeavors. Those were those tokens at the very beginning that have, well, here. That's what the token looks like. It's just bigger. So let's show off. When you start the game, you're going to start with blacksmith, not a blacksmith. You're going to start with Skinnery. You're going to start with organ grinder. And you're going to start with the bonesmith. And the lantern horde. Well, you're not going to start with these three. You're going to actually start with the lantern horde. Look at that. And then you can innovate. That's to build the innovation deck. You can even share experience to help level up survivors without taking those survivors on hunts. Something to keep in mind. But you will end up getting access, because that's what this card does here. It allows you to gain a bonesmith, Skinnery, or organ grinder for endeavors. You gain an endeavor, one endeavor per survivor that makes it back to the settlement. So at most 4 until you have abilities to grant you more. And you can spend those to create one for a bonesmith. So you get to start out with this, so you'll have bone weapons. And again, it tells you the resource and the amount you need to do it. And then there might be something else to unlock it, another requirement. But then from here, you can upgrade this to a weapon crafter, as long as you spend the right resources. So this is your weapons, your bone weapons that you're going to be able to kind of start with. Next, you have the organ grinder. This is your items. So it tells you again, see, you can spend an endeavor for a stout nose. Really useful to have. Ooh, excuse me. And then you have all these other abilities here, or items. Things that can help you gain evasion, making you harder to hit and stuff. Then you can even augury, which allows you to perform this, and potentially intimacy. So you can try to make more babies. More babies. And then you can turn this, build a barber surgeon. And that was that first card we showed off right here. So some locations unlock other locations. Others you unlock by defeating a specific monster. For example, whenever you beat the White Lion, not during the prologue, when you fight the actual level 1 White Lion, you get to unlock the Caterium, which allows you to create the White Lion gear and weapons. So dope. So dope. This is so cool. And then you've got all kinds of other locations. Here's the blacksmith. Really cool stuff in here. Exhausted Lantern Horde. I've not seen this card before. That's cool. What else we got? We got a Leather Worker. This is after the Skinnery. You can create the Leather Worker. Just better gear. Mask Maker. You can make masks. Masks are really useful. Not easy to acquire. The Plumery. This is the Phoenix Quarry that you'll be able to hunt in later game. Bada bing. And then the Stone Circle. This is the Screaming Antelope stuff that you'll be able to craft and build. And Weapon Crafter. These are better weapons than the bone weapons. Really cool stuff. And then again, it's got abilities here and a special innovation for scrap melting. Smelting? Innovation. Smelting. So yeah. And these are, again, unlocked by defeating the specific quarry monster, by upgrading your current locations, which you still keep both of them. You don't replace the Bonesmith. You have both of them on the board. So you can upgrade your Bonesmith, again, to the Weapon Crafter. Is that right? Yeah. You can upgrade the Bonesmith to the Weapon Crafter, and you have both the Bonesmith and the Weapon Crafter available for you to use. Hey, look at that. Low battery. That's funny. 20% it's plugged in. What's going on? Oh boy. We gotta move. Alright. Yeah. That's hilarious. Hopefully no naughty images pop up on my phone. Just kidding. It's a joke. But I'm glad it told me I had 20% battery. It's plugged in. It's just using a lot of power. Can't keep up. So we're going to open up some of these. Sting. You have gotten dull, or I am just bad at using you. You have my sting. So here's some gear. There's a lot. This is the Plumery gear, so here's like the rainbow katana you can make in the Plumery. It's got its stats. Oh man, that's epic. And then it has down here some puzzle stuff. So whenever you're building gear, you're going to try to create affinities. There's red, green, and blue affinities. And whenever two red pieces match together, you create one affinity. This is showing a puzzle icon. That means you need to have two red connected together or more. The green and blue is just saying you just need to have a full green or blue made already on the board, or if a character has an affinity already with them, which is something that can happen. Then you can access that ability deadly. Outside of that, you've just got the gear and what it can do. So all kinds of stuff in here. Look at Bone Club. Bone Club's super cool. Here, let's grab some. That's Plumery, Bonesmith. Let's go to the Bonesmith. Because again, the Bonesmith is something you're going to be able to craft early game, super early game, if you want to. So we'll look at some Bonesmith stuff. Okay. Bone Club. So the Bone Club, if you craft this, bam. You can roll 2 dice. You're hitting on a 6 or more, and you're wounding. You get an additional 5 strength. So if the monster's toughness was 8, you're looking at a 3 or better to wound it on a D10 roll. That's awesome. But it's got cumbersome, which means you can't move and attack. So to use the Bone Club, you've already got to be on the monster and then whack it. So you may have to move one turn, use a different weapon, and then as long as the monster doesn't move away, you can use the Bone Club. You got something like the Bone Axe, which you have multiple copies of. Up to, I think, 4 copies or 3. 3 copies of the Bone Axe, so 3 people can run a Bone Axe. You've got Bone Blades, Bone Daggers, and so those red puzzle pieces, if you can connect red puzzle pieces without rotating a card, you cannot rotate, you cannot rotate cards. Cards have to be upright. So for example, this Bone Club and Bone Axe can create a red affinity to help unlock abilities. So that's like weapons. We've got like other gear, shields, a feather shield. See these affinities here? If you have a blue, green, and red affinity on your board, you get this ability. And then you have, you know, you can fight with the shield. That's pretty cool. You get to roll 3 dice when you're attacking. Then you have armor. This is giving you 4 armor at the waist, and it gives you a nice ability. So crafting gear and weapons is what the game is about. So let's take a look at some other weapons and gear, because I've got lots of stuff here. Bam. Bada bing, bada bing, bada bing. Now there is a limit to how much gear you can carry and of how many types. Yo, what's up, Big Slide? TV, welcome, man. Stream still going, buddy? I'm over 2.5 hours, man. 2.5 hours. This box is huge. There's a lot here. There's stuff underneath all this. Man. I've just been going for it. So many cards. My hands won't stop sweating. I'm dying over here. But it's great. Look at this Final Lantern. This is some more gear that you can acquire. A green affinity, blue affinity, at least part of it. You need to combine the green and green together to get that affinities. I see that I have one thing to work on, but it looks good. My lighting is a little off. There's some green. My beard is a little green. But hey, it's not bad. As long as this looks good. Who needs to see me, right? Boom. I think this is rare gear. Ooh, yeah, see, look. Rare gear. Shabam da bam. Cursed. And then it has some extra crazy stuff. Oh, man. Starting gear. Yes, you do start the game with some gear. By the way. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, so the game doesn't leave you completely naked, but you are pretty much used. I'm not flushed by the light, silly. I've been drinking. No, yeah. It's I think my overhead light. It's like, or actually, oh, there's a lot of light. I don't understand light. So starting gear, you're going to start with a cloth. Yep, just the cloth. And you cannot strangle anybody with the cloth. I'm sorry. And then you're going to have a founding stone. Founding stone, you're going to roll 2 dice. You hit on a 7+, you wound. You get a 1 strength to help you wound. But you can throw this anywhere to deal a critical hit and a wound, or a critical wound, to the monster. So you're going to remove an AI card. You're going to hit a location. As long as it has a critical location on it, you're going to receive whatever benefits and boons from that. But you have to archive the card after you do that, which means it goes back in the box. So you lose it forever. Forever. Yes, sir. I will definitely keep killing the unboxing, or it's going to kill me. This is Kingdom Death Monster. It is scary. It's scary, but I have the physical game. It's right here. Oh my gosh. I can't get over that, guys. I've been after this game for a long freaking time. All right, let's open up some more card packs because we've got 2 more to go through, guys. We are almost there. Bink. So there's a lot of gear in this game. I think 369. And no, I'm not saying 69 as a silly perverted joke. But I think there's 369. I've got to relook, but I believe that is the actual number of gear cards. These things. These things. There we go. So there's rare gear that you can acquire. There's the gear that you can just build up from having the right resources and settlement locations gained. So bada bing, bada boom. What took you so long to get the physical game? You said you've been going after it for a long time. Just playing hard to get, man. Just playing hard to get. Well, when I was looking to purchase the game, this is probably about maybe 2 years now. It's probably going on 2 years. I couldn't find it anywhere in stock. Like the Kingdom Death website didn't have it when I was looking for it. And everywhere else to try to buy it, you know, they're upscaling the price. And then, yeah, it took 9 months for it to ship. Yep. It took forever to ship. 9 months. Like a little baby. It's my baby. So then, yeah, I finally was able to get it, but everywhere else outside of 9 months ago when I was able to get the purchase on the game, everyone just jacked up the price, like $800, $1,000, $1,200. You could buy the game because everybody wants it, and they didn't have more in production yet. And then, yes, Kingdom Death does like to take their time when they get their products coming in. They like to let you wait, tease you a little bit. But it's here. Yay. Finally. So here's some rawhide boots. This is gear that you're going to be able to build fairly quickly. Basically, after the first prologue fight with the White Lion, you're going to be able to jump in, craft yourself one of these. But that doesn't mean you're going to be able to craft everything, because you're only going to be getting 8 resources, and you've got to use them wisely amongst 4 players, or used for the settlement, and if you want to save them for later to craft other gear later on. So you're not just burning through all your resources as soon as you get them. Hoarding is okay. But yeah, at least I had Tabletop Simulator to keep me occupied for a while. I've got to learn a little bit about the game. Rawhide headband. This has the puzzle icon, so meaning you have to connect this piece to another blue piece. And if you can create the double connected blue piece, you get to unlock this ability, which is really cool. This one is one of those that I mentioned earlier. You can mitigate the AI deck. You get to kind of control what cards are there, because you can look at the top 2 and put them in any order. So you're like, ooh, that's a super brutal card. Let's put it at the top. Everybody, you better wound the monster. So you can remove that card out of it. Or everybody fails, and now you have the most brutal card up at the top of the deck, because it was one of the top 2, and he's going to use it on you. It's Kingdom Death Monster, right? Here's another just image. This is a Zambato. This gives you a red and green half infinities for you to try to connect. Gain some cool bonuses here, and I mean, look at this. Hitting on a 6+, so you know, that's average. But wounding, you get a 6 bonus to your wound. So if a monster had 8 toughness, you need a 2 or better. As long as you don't roll a 1, you would wound the monster. Freaking awesome. Not easy to build though. And let's see some other gear. Take a quick gander at. Lion headdress. It's an accessory that can actually be added to headgear to increase your armor location at the head. And again, this shows you the location that it's increasing the armor for. So it's not 1 armor all across the board, it's 1 for that location. Lion skin coat, cat eye circlet, circlet. This allows you to mitigate the AI's hit location deck. Maybe push that trap card further down that I showed off. Bada bing. So this way you don't have to engage the trap card until you hit the monster enough times to pull the trap card. A White Lion skirt, because everybody loves skirts. So just some more White Lion gear here. Some rawhide gear was shown off. So really cool. Lots of crafting you can do in this game as long as you've got the resource to do it. This is the last stack of cards to open, and that will be all That'll be everything, ladies and gents. We're almost there. We're almost there. But I'm not trying to rush it. Not trying to rush it. It's just so much. I've got more beer. I can do this all night. I can do this all night. We're gonna do it all night. That's not what she said. That's why this is an adult stream. Put Sting away. Everybody just take another look at Sting. Look at that. Elven engravings. It even comes with its own natural light glare. Look at that. Ting, 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 ting. Beautiful. Make any hobbit proud. Alright, let's take a look at... Oh, earlier we were showing off some axes and the miniature stuff. Look at that. Bam. Freaking sweet. What gear is that out of? That's out of the blacksmith. So on the backside it tells you what settlement location you need. And then on the settlement location, again, it tells you what resources to build that up. Let's take a look real quick. Meep. Meep. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Hello? Hello? What? There it is. Blacksmith. So this looks like it tells me it's the lantern glaive. So we need 2 iron, 2 leather, and 4 bone. Youch. That's hard to make. But if you make it, you get this sweet axe, which should hopefully kick some axe. A ring whip. Whips are so cool. I like whips. Whips are fun. Oh, and in Kingdom Death Monster, they're a lot of fun too. Whips are a lot of fun too. This is crazy, man. There's so much depth to this game. So much depth. Oh, and I've got so many stories. So many stories. A lucky charm. If you have 2 blue affinities, you get +1 luck. That just means you can crit easier. So instead of a 10, it'd be a 9. And if you had other things that gave you luck, it just stacks. So you could luck on maybe a 7 or better. So you're going to crit on a 7 or better. See, there are ways to make you super good. It's just you've got to understand the game and hopefully don't screw yourself over with dice rolls. Which typically is what happens when I play the game. I say typically like always. I'll make it pretty good and then just... We've killed 6 people trying to give birth to babies. Okay? In a row, 6 people died trying to give birth to babies. It's a fun story, but it also sucks. That's half our population died. We were not good at that intimacy stuff. All right. I think we'll take a look at some more gear cards as well. I just need a beer break. But let's take a look at some more images in the book. Then we'll look at some more gear stuff, just kind of show it off a little bit. And then we'll probably call it a wrap right there. So let's look at, like this, for example. Look at that, the art in this game. So I know we showed off some of the art, but man, that's so cool. The style of art. Here is it talking you through how to do stuff. If I can get this to line up right. Hold the book right. So it does a pretty good job of walking you through the prologue, which you could finish the prologue fairly quickly. I would say the prologue take 30 minutes, maybe. But then you go through the story. Kind of walks you through a small story and you get to look at some cool... Gosh, that lighting. I gotta turn that overhead light off. I think that's the overhead. Actually, you know what? No. That might be my ring light. So yeah. Touching face. Oh yeah, speaking of touching faces. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, actually before whatever I was thinking of. Let me show you the hunt events. Da-da-da. Wherever they are. I don't have the actual book memorized because I've always used Tabletop Simulator, which, woohoo, whoop, naked man. So there is nudity. So, here we go. Here are where the hunt events start. So when you roll that D100, based on what you roll, is going to determine what you're going to reference. And there's up to 100 of these. So this is 1 to 11 to 25. So, I mean, it's just pages of lore, of things that can happen. And you could run into the same hunt event twice if you roll that lucky or unlucky. And you're just going to keep going until you get some cool stuff. But I don't want to spoil any of the hunt event stuff. But look at that guy. Don't read that. But look at him. Shrew shrew. I don't know who he is, but he's handsome. And cool stuff. Because you can get a good way to increase your skills and stuff as you level up. So, I mean, there's so much to the game. There's unlocking weapon proficiencies. There's unlocking fighting arts, secret fighting arts, acquiring disorders that could help, but mostly hinder. There's a hunt experience. As you gain, you'll be able to unlock age milestones. Hunting kind of ages you as well, which is going to unlock you more abilities, maybe increase your stats permanently. You can gain temporary stat increases. You've got armor that you're going to build and craft to boost your survivors. And armor is interchangeable. So just because maybe my survivor, Hill Dracul, was wearing the rawhide gear doesn't mean I couldn't give that rawhide gear to another survivor. We both just can't benefit from it at the same time unless we've each crafted our own sets. So you can swap gear around, you can trade or hand weapons to other characters and to build up others. And if your characters do die, you don't lose your gear. The kind of lore is that there's like a scouting party that goes out and they recover your belongings. But I think there is a difficulty in the game where when your survivors die, you lose the gear. I believe there is, which is just stupid. It would be kind of fun. Thematically, that makes sense. I think that makes more sense. Let's see if I can find that. Survival rules for story, prologue, story events, finale, ooh, bonus, comic, game variants. There it is, 226. That's a 2 followed by a 2 followed by a 6. That's for me to remember. Ooh, a comic book. I don't want to read it. I won't spoil it. Oh no, I'm looking at it. I gotta stop looking at it. Turn the pages. Use it. There's so much to that. Here's all your definitions and keywords and stuff. The pages are glossy. That's also why the light's like. But the quality to these components, like these cards, they feel nice. They feel real nice. And there's over 1,000 cards that you're gonna get in this game. All right, so 220. Wait, did I say 226? Here we go. So we have 5 to 6 players, death mode. Maybe that's what it is. So let's take a look at this. Let's come around. I'm bumping my camera, sorry. So death mode says, death mode is meant for the purest experienced player that want the full Kingdom Death Monster Challenge. All gear is irreplaceable. If a survivor dies, all of their gear is archived. Survivors die when they have 3 bleeding tokens instead of 5. And monsters gain +1 damage token at the start of the showdown. Why? Why? I like playing games on the hardest difficulty, but not Kingdom Death. And then, let's see what Storyteller mode says. One player acts as the storyteller. The storyteller never controls the survivor and always acts as the monster controller. They may freely reorder the monster AI deck during the showdown. And the storyteller picks which settlement event is triggered at the settlement phase. That's pretty dope. What? That's cool. That would be a fun variant to play as. That would be fun. Playing that solo wouldn't quite work out right. All right. So before we kill the stream, let's just take a look at some more. Let's look at some of the rare gear. Some of the stuff that you'll want but you'll never see. We've got a Thunder Maul. Look at the art on that baby. I'm not going to show off all of these because that is kind of spoilery. I mean, the game's been out for like 5+ years, I think, but... Ooh, the Butcher Cleaver. You can actually get this, which is super sweet. Super sweet. The Butcher is freaking crazy. All right, let's look at one more thing. Let's look at gear. Ooh, let's look at the shield. Steel shield. I've used this before when I played in a campaign. It's pretty cool. -3 movement, though. You're not very movement effective, but freaking brutal. Look at these. Wounding stat is great, and you can spend an activation or survival to ignore a hit. So if you can raise your survival limit and then match that with having survival resource, you could become a pretty brutal character that way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been, I think we're going to call it. I would put everything back in the box, but I'm just going to sleeve it all. So I'm going to sleeve it alone. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave it alone and start sleeving the cards up. Maybe enjoy another brewski while I do it. But with that, I've already burned 3 hours of your life you're never going to have back. So it's been real, cuz I knew that was you, Billy. I knew that was you, Billy S. That's my cousin. He's a real piece of... No, I'm just kidding. Love you, man. Thank you for coming in and stopping by. We'll have to get together soon. You come to Texas. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going to California. Sorry. I spent all my money on this. But everybody, thank y'all for joining. This has been a good time. And my first live stream as an excuse for gaming, going solo. Winging it, man. This was great. Overdue. Supposed to do this 2 weeks ago, but you know, better late than never, I guess. I guess that works. So everybody, y'all have a wonderful night. God bless. And remember, we all have excuses. What's yours? Love y'all. Y'all take care. See ya, man. And women's and whoever is in here. I'm just trying to figure out how to end the stream. Oh, right. It's in OBS. And then I have to hit the end stream button. Stop streaming. All right, everybody. Yep. Goodbye. More live streams to come eventually. Just be on the lookout. A Twitter and Instagram at Excusitis TV. Yeah. Bye.